Immediately I heard the ASU strike, I took the whole 60,000 and bought birds to rare poultry.
Yeah.
The 60,000 turned to almost 200,000.
I had to travel all the way from Abuja to Lagos, and I knew nobody. I really asked around until I got the contact of a very distant auntie who I've never really interacted with. This woman was living in Apapa, but I had to go all the way from Apapa to Anthony to go and do the interview.
Hi guys, welcome back again to our channel. Hope you guys have been good. Happy new week, or whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a lovely day. So I have brought Chi here because I found this thread online and it sounds really interesting. I have read what people had to say and I wanted to go through it, and then we'll react to it, and then we'll also share some of the things that we've done as well. So the tweet says, what's the most unhinged thing you've done to get ahead?
This one requires thinking.
You can share one and then we read other people's. Then whenever one comes to your head, you can.
Yeah.
So for one of the ones that I can remember, they're not very, very deep though. So just small things here and there. I remember when in second year holiday, before we started the third year, we had this ASU strike.
Yeah.
And before then, my brother had already given me my school fees because he said he was going to pay my school fees that year. So it was around 60,000. So school fees and hostel fee was around 60,000 naira. Immediately I heard the ASU strike, I took the whole 60,000 and bought birds to rare poultry.
Yeah.
So like the risk was very crazy because my dad had already removed it that he was not going to pay school fees and hostel.
So if anything happens, you're on your
I just
own.
prayed. I went to church. I told God that please, that I want more money.
Yeah.
That I want to invest this 60,000 every day. I didn't even keep one kobo. I put the whole 60,000. I bought birds. I used my mother's cage to, I bought 32 birds. By December, I sold everything. Not a single bird died. The 60,000 turned to almost 200,000.
Wow.
So that third year, I was able to buy myself clothes. I was able to have extra 20k pocket money. I paid my school fees, and I also was able to give my dad some money.
Wow.
That was one of the most, I think I got around 250,000 or something because it was Christmas. Like when we finished, they called off the strike in January. And Christmas period is also when people buy
I'm sure you have been praying for this.
I was praying, like not a single bird died. Like my mother was like, that's very rare.
Yeah.
Not a single bird. It was just one that was sick, and I gave it to my family like as extra. She can do Christmas. But like because I bought the birds at around maybe like 500 or 600, then the feed and everything. But I was selling them at around 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So I made more than 200 or 300%. And that's one of the unhinged things that I did to get ahead in third year, to be able to have extra pocket money.
I think for me to be maybe like over packaging my resume at the beginning, So the very first job that I got, one job in Abuja. Yeah. I ended up living within 5 months. So when I was at this point, I hadn't even gotten into tech at all.
Yeah.
So I was finishing up my NYSC, and I wanted to see if I could be retained at the place where I was serving, but the conversation was not coming up. So I had a company that I packaged myself as a tech person, and the guy was starting a company, and he wanted me to serve with him, but I had to go to where they paid me more money at that time. So I kept in contact with him, and he said that whenever I'm done, I could come work with him. He was just starting a company.
Yeah.
So I kept in contact with him, and just the last day of my NYC, he called me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready. Like, let's have a conversation. So I claimed that I was a web developer, but I knew nothing, So it was that night that I went on YouTube, start making research about CSS and all of these things. Then I came across a platform called Teamswagon. Yeah. So what they do is that they have a lot of teams of like pre-built websites. Yeah. So I went to download one of the e-commerce. Yeah. And then I customized it I just changed the pictures and the names and all of that. And when I was going for the interview, like a couple of days later, I defended it as my work. And luckily for me, the man was a project manager, so he couldn't ask me the
technical questions.
So I was like defending it. I was like, oh my God, this is what. So So yeah, that's the most unhinged thing I think I've done. One of them.
Okay. So
There could have been so many
so
of them.
there are so many. Just
Yeah.
I think I've remembered some as well. But I'm going to also read some things that people have done. I resigned from my 9 to 5 and moved from my parents' house, where there is always rice at home, to Lagos, where I knew no one, and built my clientele online from scratch. The first 2 years was hard, but actor no they die for fame. Today my business is worth over 8 figures.
Yeah. She took the risk.
So just like us as well, leaving Nigeria, coming to an entirely different continent where we knew no one to start our life, and now we're almost going to be citizens soon. So it's also an unhinged thing that we do.
That reminds me of a step I took at the beginning as well. I went for the Andela boot camp and made the interviews, and I was living in Abuja at this time.
Yeah.
So I had to travel all the way from Abuja to Lagos, and I knew nobody in Lagos. So at that time, I had asked all my friends, everybody that I knew in Lagos, everybody were like either living with their auntie or with somebody else. And I really asked around until I got the contact of a very distant auntie who I've never really interacted with. This woman was living in Apapa, and I had to go all the way from Apapa to Anthony to go and do the interview.
That's extremely far.
It
if
was
you don't
crazy.
Know Lagos, you don't know how crazy it
was really
traffic
crazy
and everything.
And the Apapa region usually have a lot of traffic
because that's where trucks used to stay.
So, but those were the sacrifices we had to make.
Yeah. In Abuja, I troubled an SAN, that's SAN, with follow-up emails and texts until he granted me an interview. In Lagos, I negotiated a role that gave me a sign-on bonus in millions, plus a 3-bedroom apartment, another role with 2 sponsored annual vacations, 2-bedroom apartments, PJ flights, that's private jet flights for work, 6-figure salary plus USD bonus. That's crazy.
That's massive, baby.
That's power of negotiation. That's very crazy.
Yeah.
And that person said, in SS3, time to fill my jam form, I picked chemical engineering. Dad is a doctor, mom is a nurse. They expected me to study medicine. When my dad found out, he raised hell and told me to change that women don't study engineering. Today, my name is stored as Engineer Saz on mommy's phone. Okay, so I think
one thing my sister used to always tell me is that when it comes to making very detrimental decisions, she'll be like, if you don't make this decision, people will blame you for not succeeding. But if you take the bold move and like eventually succeed, everybody will celebrate and forget that they were even telling you not to do this thing.
Yeah.
So that is life.
Very true. I think another unhinged thing that I did to get ahead would be the time after I had left Andela, I didn't have anything. I applied for front-end, because in Andela, when I left, I was only a back-end engineer. I applied for React role. I got 3 jobs, Choma. One as a WordPress developer. I don't know where WordPress, the website is. I've never used it. I told the person I could do it. So what I did was I hired someone that could do it and then paid the person. So the money that back then I negotiated 100,000. The person I found, I told the person I was going to pay the person 40,000. The person said no problem. The person did an amazing, because the person is a WordPress developer. The person did an amazing job.
So it was like a freelance.
It was a freelance gig. So I collected the 100K, paid the person 40K. And kept 60K up to today. I don't know how to do WordPress, but I remember that I took the job.
Eating the money,
So it was sort of the money that I used to get to the house that I moved with Raja and Amaka in Bagada.
That's really nice.
So that's also another
thing. In that regard too, what I also had to do, the very first job I got after I went to Andela Bootcamp, I remember they had reached out to me and we were like, at this point, just do normal vanilla JavaScript. And, so they reached out to me and we were like, oh, do you do Vue.js? I'm like, oh yeah, actually. I've never ever Vue.js. So we now scheduled an interview for the next day, and I went into my ginger mood. I went on YouTube to learn a few things about Vue. I had nothing, and by the time I did the interview the next day, I got an intermediate role, from knowing nothing. So I had to learn the Vue.js on the job.
It's just that audacity most of the time. Someone said, got a full tuition scholarship. I said it wasn't enough and negotiated for more. So they added extra $40,000 living stipend. I'm never afraid to confidently advocate for myself. Someone said, I made the decision to move to Dubai, looked for a job in Dubai for over a year, would wake up on Sunday morning and resume on LinkedIn, applied to hundreds of jobs, finally landed one with Spotify, and my life has never remained the same. People take risks. I think another one too for me would be me getting a job as a developer advocate. I had never done it before. I just work as a software engineer. So one time I saw the role and I wanted to try something else in tech apart from coding. As I saw the role, I kept on applying and applying and applying. the first time I got the job, I got a 100K plus offer.
Yeah.
On this thing.
That
Like
was-
the thing
that
was just, I just
amazing.
used my YouTube and told them that I create content on YouTube,
Yeah.
that they can go there and
Yeah.
see it. So I was doing that, and also so I was able to combine
Yeah.
both. And so it's one of the things that also got done to get ahead. So I was able to save a lot of money from it as well.
In one of the American companies I worked with as well, I remember that like when we started the conversation, they asked for my salary expectations, and I sent it to them.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we started the interview. When they eventually wanted to make me an offer, like they've been giving me very positive feedback along the way. So I knew they wanted to hire me. When it was time to make an offer, they went to make research about the Nigerian market. And now came back to me and were like, oh, they've made their research and this is the highest they are seeing in the Nigerian market. And then they were like, oh, but they feel it's too small. They now made me their own offer. And I'm like, no, because I knew already that they were okay with the range I gave them at the beginning. And I told them that I was at least expecting to get even if it's the lower range. Guess what? They gave it to me, which was now double of what they were going to
give you.
So sometimes, like, you just have to have the audacity.
Yeah, true. I agree. I downsized my business, took my savings, moved abroad to further my education, single-handedly paid tuition, finished school, reopened my business, and now running 2 branches in 2 continents while growing a career in digital marketing and hospitality, all backed by God.
Wow.
Someone said, 1 year into uni in the UK, I withdrew and told my school to cancel my student visa, went back to Lagos for 3 months, and came back on a skilled work visa that counts towards my ILR. That's, I think, your permanent residence in the UK or something. My family thought I was crazy, but I had negotiated a 6-figure salary job with COS plus 20K signing bonus.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Like,
I mean, I feel like for most people that succeed, there has been a time in your life where you had to make some crazy decision.
Very crazy decision. I agree. Looked at my salary and my newborn, carried my legs inside Lagos Island Market and started selling place to hotels and restaurants. In 10 months, I bought 2 shops and put it up for rent.
Wow.
Now living a completely different life. But that period changed so many things for me. This is just to encourage people. Like, if there is something that you really want to do, please just close your eyes and do it. The worst case scenario is that it doesn't turn out well. But the best case scenario is that you get everything you've ever wanted.
Exactly. I like what you said in one of your previous, when you say that, like when you're poor, you don't have a business being shy.
I swear.
About your product, about like your work. So
you have no business. I swear. You're too broke to be shy. Like you're way too broke to be shy. I swear. Because that's something
honestly, like when you look at everybody that have succeeded, there's that audacity that they have.
Like they see that cringe, you see the audacity, like just take it to the next level.
It's not about like having a first class or getting the best grade. No, it's just about how you can just say, damn it, I'm going to succeed anyways.
Exactly. 5 years ago, I left my cozy oil and gas job in Nigeria to start over in Canada. Lied to my dad that I was going to visit because he was scared that relocating would make me a second-class citizen in that country. Switched careers from engineering to data analyst, and it's been the best decision yet.
Hands down.
Hands down. Someone said, I quit my 9 to 5 with no backup plan last year, September, because God said it's time to pursue purpose. Dropped my resignation letter. Management called and begged me and even offered to increase my salary, even when the normal pay was good. I loved the offer and was excited. I told God, he said, that's not my plan for you. So I sent the resignation letter. It's been a year and that decision has changed my life.
So what is the call?
I don't know what it is. Maybe whatever the purpose, the person didn't see. So this one said, I wrote JAMB in my late 20s and went back to school for computer science.
Oh, wow.
I'm starting my second semester 100 level exam next week. I've been downloading the books on the right and countless PDFs. On the right is my first semester results, and I'm kind of proud of myself. He got 5 A's and 5 B's.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, I feel like dreams never die. Like,
I think
like,
it's just
it can be slowed
down. And I think another problem too that I notice is that sometimes we put a lot of time frame on things, because imagine at late 20s, probably by 27, 28, 29. A lot of people will be so scared that, my mates are no longer in school, and him taking that bold step is crazy. It's crazy. Truly, there is really no time limit to you pursuing your goal. If you're thinking, it's age, whether you like it or not, that age. I
feel like age is just a thing of the mind.
Honestly, so if you say, it's going to take you 4 years, that 4 years will come and go. So either you have the certificate by the end of the 4 years, or you don't.
Or you continue struggling in whatever
it is that you're doing.
this thing you're doing. Yeah.
So another person said, Christmas week 2007, I had relocated for a new job and was only on the job for 4 months. I left the office to pick my wife at home. As we drove out, I got a call to return back to the office for an emergency meeting. I left her in the car and went upstairs only to join over 80 individuals in a conference room where they announced a mass layoff effective the same day. I dropped my badge and laptop and went back to the car smiling. We went to the mall and I acted normal the entire day without saying a word, and I went to spoil her at LV, I think it's Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Happy and depressed at the same time, all through the Christmas holiday. I didn't reveal to her I had lost my job. January 5th, 2008, I drove 9 hours to Orlando, Florida, and used my last $2,500 to attend the Scrum Master certification and slept in my car after the training. I came back home after the training and applied for jobs for weeks, leaving the house daily at 7 a.m., pretending to go to work, never revealing to her I lost my job. Confused and not sure what to do without any income plus a baby on the way, I acted normal the whole time. Finally, a call came through for an interview with a health insurance company in Maryland. I did 3 interviews and got a call at the end of the day with a job offer to resume immediately the following one day. I packed my bags and drove 12 hours to Maryland to start work. That job paid me $125,000 annually, plus travel expenses coming from a salary of $65,000. I only reviewed this to her 1 month after I had gotten two, and paychecks was very soft.
Yeah.
We had our first son September 2008. I named him Isaac, the one who laughs, faith, grit, and self-belief.
That's really a very sweet story.
This is very, very crazy. It's very, very crazy. So a lot of people have said different things. Like if you now go through the comments, like you would see a lot of very positive things, and I'm very happy about it.
Like people have done it. Like for everybody that have succeeded, they really have had to endure a lot, like or sacrifice a lot or go through a lot of pain. But the funny thing is that, like when you're sure, when you know that you're going to succeed, when you're even going through these things, it doesn't feel like it. You just look back and feel like, oh, I actually suffered, But when you're going through the hustle, you just know that you're going to succeed, so you don't even feel the pain when you're going through it. Yeah,
very true. So guys, this is just this is it really. I don't think I have more to say. There are a lot of things that I'm sure we probably have done to be able to get ahead in life. And I'm hoping that whoever is reading or watching this, that whatever action you feel like you think you want to take, but you're very scared, but then deep down that when you take this action, it's going to take you further. Just close your eyes and do it. So there's this thing I and my friends, right, we do where if you want to do something and we're scared, we'll just be like, what's the worst that can happen?
You do it anyway.
Exactly. So once you just ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? And you know the worst case scenario. Like they say, once you're low, you cannot go lower than low. So just try to tell yourself that I can do this, and
because then as you're thinking about the low, there could be the high.
Exactly.
Right? So,
like the worst case scenario, but what if is the best case scenario that comes out for you?
So what I have to say is that those things you think you are all of it. I swear. So you're worth it.
You're worth the fight. We're not motivational speakers, but this one, like when I saw,
but that's what I always tell myself when I try to go into something new, or maybe like I'm feeling scared about something. I'll be like, oh, that thing you think you are actually, and then you just do it and you succeed. So,
and the thing I've also come to notice is that you see, believe goes a very, 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 very long way. If you believe it,
or breaks us.
If you believe it, like I remember last year, like when I was ready to go back to work, I told myself I'm going to get 2 jobs, and I went ahead and I got 2 jobs. It wasn't easy, but like because I knew, I believed that I can get 2 jobs, and I was able to do that. So you just have to believe it.
The universe is your platform. Just go and collect. It has all the.
It might take time.
It will take time, but enjoy the process.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye guys.